Race will be starting on time. There was not an odd number. Seems that happens very rarely. Or at least, yeah, no, it is very rare. So yeah, Boots and GT, why not today? Haven't seen it happen, so it's bound to eventually. But yes, it's Ambrosia. I should be able to finish this in roughly 2 hours, so I can be done before Joe streams. Or soon after. Worst case. Yeah, unfortunately, just a few too extra checks yesterday for that 2.5 minute loss. Because that was one of the jettiest jets. Unfortunately, weapons at the beginning was the big issue. But I could have gone to Thieves Town and done that because there was really nothing in Thieves. Or if there was anything in Thieves, I didn't even look for it. But I'll take a PB like that. I know it's, it doesn't matter in general what, my PB in a random race is, but it still felt good how quickly we finished yesterday. Regardless, my opponent also PB'd, so he said it was a best for him, so the fact that we both had best races, that's fine. But we're about to get started. We're about a minute out. Yep, we're a minute out. So buckle in because we're about to have some fun. All cash, Hopefully other people can make it today. I know weird times are always not conducive to building a stream audience. But, you race when you can. You race when the races are open to you to be able to do so. That's the smart way to do this, I think. Where are those boots? Dark World, okay. Not GT, but Dark World is at least not super early for you. I know a lot of the people who enter the Ambrosia races right now are also people in the Mentor tournament. So there is a tournament right now for newbies, and their first 3 weeks of the tournament are a round robin of Ambrosia Seeds. So I know at least there's a few people who entered this as like a or who are entering these as practice before their tournament races. I did not enter the tournament, not because I have so much self-confidence to believe I'm not a newbie, because no, I am definitely a newbie, but I just wasn't as interested in it, and of course the whole need to do Twitch. I'm still not really sold on wanting to do it. Okay, I thought I was gonna like the Samus sprite, but it looks wonky, right? Yeah. Okay, good. It's not only me. It's like she's a bobblehead. Yeah. I've used the Zero Suit Samus sprite before, and I thought that one looked okay, but this one... Nah. Nah, bro. Yeah, unfortunately, this just isn't as... I wanted to try it, at least. And we'll see what it looks like later, but I don't think I'm going to use Samus again. I've had some fun with some of the other ones we've done recently. Shy Guy was cool. Piranha Plant was neat. But, yeah. Samus is a no. See, part of the problem is like, Samus's armor always was much, like... The comparison of head to body here is the big issue, for sure. Like, Samus's armor always had a bulk to it. And in this, it looks like her helmet's just massive. And her armor is teeny tiny. So yeah, last night was fun. I have to say, like, the only thing is I just got really cautious because I think we hit go mode at 9 hearts, green mail, silverless, master sword. And for me, that was just a scary thought of having to clear GT and Ganon at that. Like, I could clear Trinex at that, but GT, I don't think I've really had too much low percent style GTs, and that really intimidated me last night. So I mean, it was still a good race. Like, I think clearly my best. The best I've played. My mistakes were limited. Obviously, I made mistakes because I lost, but like, or, you know, still a skill gap between me and people who've just been doing this longer. But I thought it was good. So. I mean, it feels weird having almost justifying it to myself like that I'm not annoyed by a loss, but I hope that makes sense. Like, it's hard to gauge because I can't have a copy of myself from, you know, 3 months ago run it and go, oh yeah, no, you are definitely a lot better, but like mentally I know that it's the case. So some things we're doing differently. One of the things I'm not checking anymore as much is Lumberjack. Unless I can get the boots super early or have the boots, I don't want to check it. It's kind of a worthless check. And it's more just a waste of time rather than actually a benefit. I've watched a lot of races, and the people I'm running against don't check it. Unless it's actually necessary, or like there's like reason to believe it's gonna have something. So pretty much what I've noticed is a lot of people say check it if you've got either the boots already, because you're gonna check bonk rocks once you got boots. So in that case, checking the Lumberjack makes sense. You can route it together with the bonk rock. But other than that, like, why do it early? Like, maybe if you find out the boots are in Light World or, you know, Eastern or Desert or Tower of Hera kind of stuff, like that kind of early. But like, if it's Dark World, then it probably doesn't matter as much, and you can route it in later. Hook shot. So there's some other things we'll try to start doing differently. Hook shot and glove. So hopefully that kind of stuff can start cutting off, you know, little bits of time. It's not going to make like a huge difference, but like I need to route smarter. And the big thing, like, I don't expect anybody to go and start watching my opponents, you know. But I know people watch me and it's like, well, it seems like you did okay. And that's sort of true, but my big issue right now is I'm checking too much always. And it's like, it's great when I was starting out and not very good, but as I've gotten better, all the extra checks are doing is slowing me down. Yeah, does it look like she's like bow-legged or something? Is that what it is? Like, her legs go out. at these weird, like, curved angles. We're going without blue cane. I've got cape already. Cape is the more powerful of the invincibility items in this seed anyway. So how are you today, Alcash, though? Besides, you know, looking at the monstrosity that is Samus. Pretty good. Yeah, you missed a fun one last night. Pretty much anything I could do to make things quicker, I was able to do. We checked a lot, but it was still good. The beginning was definitely a weird setup. Stingy with other stuff, like... but after that, like, once we got our first sword, it was kind of just a runaway of a seed. Like, it was, you know, I noticed, oh, there's the cape on, or there's the first, there's a bow on bumper ledge, and then, you know, get the cape. So then I'm like, okay, let's go clear Eastern, and, you know, and then we'll go to Pod, possibly. At Eastern, I get the hammer and the Master Sword, and then I'm like, okay, oh crap, I'm an Ice Rod away from Go Mode. And then, like, the third chest I check in Pod is the Ice Rod. And you're just like, okay, sure. And, like, what, we were at the 50-ish minute mark or less at that point. And you're just like, okay, sure. Like, let's go. The one thing that really was difficult was I found out my opponent did find Tempered Sword. Their GT path is a little different than mine. You start to learn that a lot of people have a GT routing plan, and mine is... Whoa, stuff's happening. Thank you for the follow, CPT Cook, and thank you for the host, and also thank you, Dopey. So, like, my route through GT is always Hope Room on the right side, and then I go full left if I can. And, like, there's only very, like, limited cases where you can't do full left. But If I can, I will. Turns out my opponent last night prefers to do full right. If they can, they go right to Hope Room. If they get a small key, they do full right. If not, they do full left. Which isn't a bad strategy. I just prefer the left side because there's more items. But I like Hope Room because it's so quick. Okay, a bow. Okay, a storm just started in my area. Hopefully we do not lose power. A bottle, okay. Lamp, okay. Good thing I went the rest of this logical progression. So yeah, hopefully we don't lose power or anything during this, but... I will try to bring us great entertainment value. I might regret this decision. Yeah. We're gonna go the other way. I'd rather avoid a pendant first than go straight to Eastern. I can clear Eastern, which is good, but I can instead do at least 10 mountain checks. So, you know, like 5% of the item pool. So I'd rather check some of the item pool than only get 3 items. And really, when I say 5% of the item pool, it's greater than that, really. It's, you know, it's like I'm doing 10 out of 216. But if we think about it, like, every map has a map, or every dungeon has a map, a compass, and a big key. And then, so that's what, 30 items, 40, or 30 to 35 items. And then you think that after that, you know, you're talking across the whole item pool, maybe an additional 30 small keys. So we're talking 10 out of roughly about 160 items. So, you know, we're talking roughly, what, 1/16 of the item pool, which is 6.25%, 6.125%. So hopefully it pays off. And who knows, maybe I will be streaming other stuff today. I will not be doing any other races. I know, so disappointing. Especially what? There's a 1 a.m. inverted key sanity. Book of Medora. Okay. That's not great. The other thing that's not great is we actually have Aga access. Cape. Lamp. By the way, I don't know if you just noticed, but I just picked up, I hookshotted a heart and got 2. It's a weird glitch. I don't know what causes it, but, you know, if you're struggling for health, the double heart hookshot is actually pretty cool. Oh, another one last night. Old Cash, I know. Ooh, lots of thunder near me. Not sure if that's coming through the mic. Of course, hacks. You know what the best part is, Olkesh? I have red cane. Yep. This is this is the randomizer, so yeah. I don't have the other methods that a lot of people use for it. I'm actually not a big fan of this one right now, surprisingly. It looks off to me. Got the book, okay. Just had to think for a second. Yeah, Ulkesh, if you want to see a different kind of glitch, check out last night's Cold Stare, because I think I pulled off a glitch last night that I haven't ever talked about, but I saw somebody do once at a speedrunning event, and I was like, that's really cool. It's a fire rod duplicating shots. If you have full health and fire off a fire rod shot and then fire off a sword beam, it actually, the sword beam has the same effect as the fire rod shot. It is completely hilarious. Allowed me to save so much magic in that fight against Cold Stare last night. Because we were bombos-less and tempered swordless, and it was just like, I need some kind of advantage, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm at full health. Let's do that. Okay, what's Desert Ledge got? Heart Piece, don't care. Yeah, we're gonna try to avoid Eastern for now. I know I can, but I'd rather not have to go do the Force Dependent dungeon yet. There's a chance we can clear desert. Unfortunately, not a fast start to the seed. I was hoping for a bit quicker. But this definitely has like one of those slow seed starts. So we'll check the torch, see if it's an item. But then we can clear desert. So yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good day. Okay. So we can skip the big chest. That's going to have the compass, I think. That's what we didn't find, right? One of those two things. Map or compass. And go straight to Landmo. Agate is still on the table, unfortunately. I don't really want to do Aga because technically at this point there's a chance that the items are available in Lightworld. We're only either a glove or hammer and moon pearl away. But yes, for anybody just joining us, this is an Ambrosia ladder race. Ambrosia means I get to start with a sword. I get given a boots hint, and every boss will have an item. When I say item, that means it could be just some arrows, it could be the fire rod, it could be rupees. It's just guaranteed to not be a map, compass, or small key. Not a great prize for beating Landmo, unfortunately. But a crystal is a crystal. Shoot. Play to density. Always play to item density. And in this case, it means Eastern Palace. Clearing Eastern could... What do you mean? Oh, mystery. Yeah. I think I know where it had to have been. even though we didn't find it at the end of that mystery when I decided to just go exploring for shits and giggles, I think I know where it is. Now this is going to sound completely random, and unfortunately, like, I don't have a good way to describe it because there's no good way to describe it. So I know of at least one connector cave I didn't go through in that race. Towards the end of the race, I said, I like entered a cave and I said, it's a connector, a one-way connector. Screw it, I'm not doing it. And that one-way connector, based on the fact that I checked like everything else that race, had to, and I definitely mean it had to, have been the one thing we didn't find. Maybe there was another connector I missed. Or like, one of the things I realize is I don't do good notes about dark caves. Unfortunately, like, I don't know how to describe them in a better way. Too low. Nope, still good. Hey, Scruff. So at this point, we've got compass and big key. So we know that the big key chest has the map, and Armos is going to have whatever my last item is. We're closing in on 50 races for the season, which is nice. It's funny, I am definitely one of the anomaly records right now. Some people are talking about like different ways of discussing ladder. And one of the big ones is, you know, looking at people's win percentages and whatnot, and, you know, people around the center or the middle of the ladder right now. And I'm not in the middle just because of the fact that, like, I have my ELO is below 1600 even with the roughly 500 record. I've lost more points even. See, that's not even a good final item. That's a bad item. We're gonna save scum this, by the way. If this isn't worthwhile, we're resetting. Yeah. A lot of people do it. If you check mushroom just to see what it is, but then you hold on to mushroom, like, because I don't know when I'm going to find powder, but since I've already got the mushroom and the red cane, I can technically do fake powder later. So it's a very normal strategy, very valid one. Aga it is. Took me 36 minutes, but we full cleared Light World. So yeah, no, that is completely legal. Very common strategy. I've seen a lot of people do it. People also do it for keys. Pod. Pod key logic is being the mess that it is. A lot of people will get like 4 or 5 pod keys and will do a save scum of pod keys to the same effect. Yes, the rules of what is allowed for rando or racing this stuff in general is always interesting. I guess what I say interesting, though, you would say hacks. Like I said, the rule set is no major glitches. So, I mean, is that major? No. At least not in their eyes. Man, that sub 2 hours is going to be difficult at this point, unless the items start coming up. Might have to apologize to Joe for this one. I didn't think this was going to be that bad of a seed. But an Aga seed is never fun for timing. Hi, Joe. I'm about to fight Aga. Fighting Aga is not a good sign. Usually, most seeds, you don't see me fight this boss, because usually I have some kind of access to Light World, or to Dark World by now. I don't have Dark World access yet, and it's been 40 minutes. So very slow. I think I've routed okay, but we checked everything possible in Light World before going for this play. The worst part is, I don't even have the Moon Pearl yet. So, there's got to be something on the pyramid. Ah, so Bunny Sprite is Zero Suit Samus. And this actually looks good. Like, the Zero Suit Sprite actually looked pretty decent. What's so funny, Scruff? Oh yeah, I know. Rip. So yeah, if you want to know the gist, Joe, that's pretty much it. We full cleared everything we could in Light World and didn't get Dark World access out of it, which meant I had to do an Aga Tower climb at the 35-minute mark of this race. And even for somebody like me who's decent, like, that's slow. That it's not slow on like my play was slow, it's just slow as in like, this is a race that is not your friend. Yeah, Zero Suit Samus is a good sprite. But this Samus sprite is just... it's the head and the legs. Head's too big and the legs just bow out like some weirdness. And if you were enjoying the sprite until I said those things, I apologize, but yeah. Well, Kesh and I were kind of discussing it, and that's what I thought my problem is, but yeah. Rather than going to pot at this point, Green Pendant is freaking Thieves Town? Pendant Thieves? Really? Glad I checked that. Remembered, hey, you have cape. Bumper ledges and logic. Not falling for that move. Why are we telling Jesse Bot to shh? Jesse Bot is a kind and gentle soul. Or at least everything I say I can be. I can't imagine it was calling you out. That would be shocking to me. It might have whispered and said hello, but I wouldn't call that calling out. I don't like this play, but I'd rather do this now than later. Especially with how limited my Dark World access is right now. Like, I don't have 2 gloves, and I don't have the hammer. Right, I'm missing one of the gloves, and I'm missing hammer. So, like, that might be the good. Okay, that helps actually. Neither. It is snaps or something. I use live split for if I do NMG, but since this is randomizer, I don't see a need so much for it. Like, all the extra features of live split really wouldn't benefit me here. Mirror's good. Let's not deny that the mirror was a good play. But I'm hoping for something more in this pendant dungeon. And I think I'm just going to clear it because I'm going to make my way over to Pod next. So, logically speaking, I might as well get the green pendant and turn it in. So yes, this is a Link to the Past randomizer ladder race. What that means is right now, I am racing somebody. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they found or any of those kinds of things. I'm not supposed to know. All I know is I'm racing somebody. We're racing the same seed. This is an Ambrosia randomizer. Ambrosia means that I will start off with a sword. I will do the standard escape sequence to rescue Princess Zelda, and then I, you know, go collect 7 crystals, kill Ganon, all that fun stuff. Crap. No, this is actually a specific Discord for the ladder. Well, Cash, since I know you're probably there, can you post the link to the ladder website at least? That would be a huge help to me if you can. Yeah, that one. So on that is a link to the Discord. It's run by Big Dunka. This is his brainchild. So you sign up. There's 4 or 5 races a day, or 3 to 4 races a day, really. There's 5 rotating modes. We're in season 1. Later this month, they will start season 2. So right now is Ambrosia. Later today, there's a mystery seed race. There is open mode, cross keys, and the mode of the season, as it's called, is inverted key sanity. And so what we do is we just, you sign up. You don't have to sign up for a lot of them. Sign up whenever it's convenient for you. You just have to broadcast your race or broadcast your run at the time. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then after, you find out if you won or you lost. As you race more, you start to race people around your skill level because it is a ladder assignment system. So I was too. Well, maybe not a noob to the game, but I was definitely a noob to racing, and I'd only done like 4 or so like randos for I had done less than 10 randos in my life when I did my first ever race, and I got my butt kicked for a while, I'll be honest. I probably lost my first 7 or 8 races, and because of that, I moved down the ladder. But after a while, I've really come to enjoy it, and people who watch, the mods, they'll tell you where I was 2 months ago, 3 months ago in these versus now is night and day. I'm definitely not great. I still lose a good amount, but I'm running about a 500 average win to loss, so we've gotten better. The big thing for me is I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not overly cautious about everything. I've definitely been checking too much. So I've gone out of my way to check things that maybe I didn't need to. But well, for a lot of people that doesn't happen. Even some of the good people still fall to Moldorm. Nobody's perfect. Two swords right then and there. Hot diggity. I mean, we're still not great with our item, among other things, but we're just not great. Yeah, it'd be great if I didn't fall to Moldorm, but even people a lot better than me still fall to Moldorm every so often. Wow, this seed is just Garbage items. Yes, absolutely astoundingly amazing for you two. Exactly everything you usually hope for has actually, like, happened. You have. You were actually, like, really into the idea of the Jet Seed last night. My opponent did find a third sword, by the way. I don't know if I told you that one. Turns out there was a third sword in GT. They went full right. And right side had tempered sword. So, my bad. But yeah, we're almost an hour in, and we're like so far away from go mode. Once again, I'm gonna apologize, Joe, because I am not finishing this sub 2 at this rate. Everybody is free to leave when Joe goes live, because that was my miscalculation to think that, you know, an Ambrosia Seed, which is normally a sub 2 for me, was going to turn out this way. Well, at this point, Ice Palace isn't too bad because I have the Red Cane. At best, Ice Palace can have 3 items, I think. 3. Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, if you want to try it, Productions, like, the thing is like, it's definitely open to, like, anybody. If you have an interest in Link to the Past, Randomizer, and just want to try it out, like, go for it, because the community's great. Like, if you're familiar with the other or the other portions of the rando community, then you know already, like, great people who really just want to help you out. I've gotten a lot of, like, tips from people, like, just telling me how to do stuff. It really, you know, they've been great to get to know, and, like, just, like I said, they'll answer the questions that you have, and, like, completely, you know, the opportunity is there to get better and not feel like, yeah, you're going to start off and you'll be at the middle of the ladder and be like, oh crap, I'm going to lose, you know, a dozen races in a row. And yeah, that stinks. But, like, if you have the attitude that it's not a problem, like, you'll be fine. You know, but Scruff, ever since I learned Icebreaker, I really don't mind Ice Palace anymore. Like, when I didn't know Icebreaker, I absolutely hated Ice Palace. And now I begrudgingly accept the need to go there as long as I've got Samaria. Why did I do that? I didn't need to do that. If there's nothing here... Like, we haven't found anything in pod yet. You realize how bad this is? I think this is a small key. Therefore it is, yes. So since I'm obviously going to miss at this rate, I'm going to miss the start of Joe's stream. I'm going to ask, Joe, what are you streaming today? Come on. Item, please? Wow. Garbage. I'm gonna guess that the... Oh, more Dragon. Cool. Yeah, I'm still deciding if I'm gonna be able to join Dopey today. For more of the Minecraft dungeons. Words cannot contain how much I hate this seed. Joe, the story's going right now that oh, your story for your game. Kidding. Poetic. Thank you. I don't even have to look at it to know what I... Yep. Oh, God. Please don't fall down center hole. Center hole's really bad. That's progression. That's something at least. Titan's mitts. Yeah, strong hands. Really strong hands. Strong hands are the power glove. Titan's mitts are the really strong hands. It's progress. One of the things I definitely need to finish this seed. But, I mean, like, we're still missing a hammer. We're still missing a fire rod. We might need bombos. We haven't found the boots. We haven't found the flute. The list, people. The list of stuff I still need. Okay, we don't need it for TR. Yeah, some ALTTP. Randomizer. Thanks for the follow. When I have a second, I will look and make sure I get your name right because, you know, a quick glance makes it hard always. Shut. Yes, thank you for the follow, Stigma TV, or Stigmet. Well, I mainly do rando. Well, I stream a lot of other stuff, but when it comes to ALTTP, it's usually rando. Oh wait, I can't even do that. Let's mirror. Sorry, there's not a lot of options right now. Like, let me see if I'm just missing something. Like, no, I really don't have a lot of options. So I've done a couple of NMG runs, and actually timed myself. So maybe that makes me an NMG runner now. But yeah, I've tried it. I'm at, I forget what my time is. It's under a 150 at this point. But I don't know a lot of the good NMG tricks that would help cut down minutes of time. So yeah. I wanted to see, just because like I've started to do the rando races and I was like, let's, you know, where are my skills? What can I learn? And some of the stuff that I know would be beneficial in like NMG would actually really help as well. So. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's definitely a step. I don't know if I'm gonna continue that far into it. But then, yeah, you know the kind of stuff. Like, I know how to do bomb jumps. Let's, like, at least some of them. Oh, cool. So, I mean, you're really much further along. But yeah, like, some of the stuff that I know would save, like, big amounts of time. Pod, I don't do the hammer jump. And I know that's always a big one people say, is, like, learn that. And, like, I should, just because, like, it would help me a ton in the key sanity modes. Because I've gotten burned a couple of times now with a pod key. So. Come on, there's gotta be progressions. Flippin' boots. So purple chest, it's technically Dark World. Okay, sure. That makes perfect sense. And the flute. Good God. I don't know. An hour and 15 into a seed that's been pretty garbage. I think it can't be too bad. Yeah, I've watched a lot of people set it up. I've just not tried to learn it. So. Eventually, I will, but, you know, it's not been, like, on my list of stuff. I'm glad I did Bombo's tablet when I did, though. Let's just say that much. I don't want to waste all my magic on this move. So we won't. We won't use my magic yet for that. Like, I do the Ice Palace Bomb jump, and I can get it, I guess, roughly consistent, but, like, I also do some of the safeties. Right now, I'm currently, like, and I know, like, this is a big one, is powder. A lot of people get powder for a while when they're learning NMG. But I'm also getting half magic. I should have checked the medallion before I came this far. But whatever. Nope. I guess we're going to do Mire. I don't like the idea of doing Mire, but we'll just gamble. Do one of these two, and then... Okay, we can't even do Mire. Yeah, I do want to get rid of it. It's just like one of those things where I'm kind of like, until I feel comfortable doing it, I'm not ready to. Especially because it's right there. Like, you get Tempered Sword, you can just go get half magic. Fake powder was not worth as much. Was not worth much. I mean... I'm running out of good options. Let's just put it that way right now. Actually, I've been out of good options for a while. This is a garbage seed. Big oof. I'm one pendant away from pet access at this point. We're just gonna check it. I really don't care too much. Okay, so it is not a pet seed. It was an aga seed, but not a pet seed. It was. Big time oof. But I need to think. So, as I think, we're gonna go clear pod. And hope that maybe clearing pod is actually better, is going to give me something more than the other options. So, like, here's where we're at. Pod's clearable, so we're going to clear it. But after that, we can clear Swamp Palace, but it's a pendant. We can't clear Skull. We can't clear Mire. We can't clear Ice. So, like, dungeon-wise, my two options are to go into TR without the Fire Rod or go into Swamp Palace, which is my last pendant. And I know that Ped's worthless. So, two not good things. I think I'm going to do Swamp anyway, to be honest. Like, Swamp's denser. There's more options at Swamp than there are at TR right now, just because, like, not that I haven't seen a Fire Rod TR. Like, I've seen Fire Rod in Mimic Cave, even. Or you could just give me Bombos or Fire Rod here. That was closer than it should have been. I got sloppy, I'll be honest. I've got Shovel to still check. We've checked the bat. I did get Bug Net earlier. I have not been checking things off as much as I should. Like, we killed Aga. I should be proud of killing Aga. Oh wait, I don't have Bug Net. Maybe I'm thinking of a different seed. At a certain point, they kind of start gelling together. I'm gonna check dig just because if I can get something out of the dig spot. Then maybe, just maybe. Single arrow, poetic. Worst part is like that hammer in Skull Woods is something some people would have gambled on earlier. There are definitely people who would have said, I'm going to at least check Skull Woods. Not as many, because like Skull Woods and an Ambrosia only has one item besides Mothula, but there are still people who would have done that. You always need bombs first. I don't know why you equipped hammer, Jess. Come on. Now you can equip the hammer. We're not gonna dive her down, I think. I shouldn't, because I haven't worked on it. Sorry, I still have nightmares of when we used, what, 15 bombs last time? Because that was if Hammer in Skull Woods is a new Farino, that was even worse that day. Does it matter at this time? At this point, Scruff, I already used the key. I can't do it now. I mean, realistically, part of, like, this is a cop-out answer, but the fact that this is not a required dungeon at this point, and I'm really just hoping to find something, there's actually some logic in me trying to not do left side of this dungeon. I mean, we're still 2 items from go mode, let's be honest here. Give me that puff. Ah. Ice Rod's a little harder to aim. And we got powder out of it. Like, come on. We're going back in. This is a salty seed. I'm glad this is my only race today. Oh no, you know what I forgot to check? Shit. Oh boy. I say this like, oh yeah, everybody knows what I forgot to check. Lumberjack. I said, oh yeah, when I get the boots, I can easily go check it. We haven't checked Lumberjack yet. And we did kill Aga. It might be nothing. It really, you know, there's a good chance it's nothing, but we're kind of running out of options. Oh my god. Terrible. Or it's the fire rod. Yes, exactly. It's gonna be the worst, like, a forced Aga seed, and we didn't go check it. Like, if that's the case, I'm losing this race. Big time. And there's a good chance I still lose this race big time. I was hoping to get back to 500 again. I like hovering right at that, like, 500 mark. It's kind of funny. I am kind of hoping that the big chest bails me out. Like, please. If you're Bombos or Fire Rod, like, at least that kind of helps me a little bit. Like, I need both of those items to finish this race. Shoot. Okay, what are we putting money on for this one? Is it going to be the Fire Rod or is it going to be Bombos? Place your bets. What did Jesse screw up big time? We're just going to blind pull it, by the way. We're not even going to check. We're just going to grab it and see what happens. Neither. Holy crap. This is my third trip up Death Mountain, by the way. With at least one more coming. Like, it's... You don't want to take 4 trips up Death Mountain. Bugnet. Don't want to talk to you because you have a long text box. I shouldn't have gone this way because I do need magic, unfortunately. I hate dead rocks. Like, I'm gonna have to go up here, do this, go through the portal. I figured it was worth a shot. Maybe I had enough magic, but I didn't. I should have been a bit more judicious about my magic usage on Spike Cave. Luckily, one of the things you try to learn is where quick refills are, and that's one of the ones I know. Once again, of course, apologies to Joe that my stream is going to go over. I don't blame anybody for leaving when she goes live because my plan was not to go this long at all. But this seed has been garbage. Massive garbage. We haven't even found blue mail. I was gonna say, is the salt really coming through today? How prevalent is salt in this stream? And then I screwed up that. Great. Ha. This is the crazy key logic that's required for Turtle Rock to work without Fire Rod. You see that? The first chest had to be a key. The second chest there with the chain chomps had to be a key. And this is still just pushing me one step further down the line each time. This is how bad key logic must turn out for this to work. Ha! The jokes are just killing it. Okay, I've got one check left at this point. Mimic Cave. Mimic Cave is in logic. If it's Bombos, we're going straight to Mire. If it's Fire Rod, I might try to redo Turtle Rock and find Bombos here. Oh, you missed it, Olkesh. Yeah, we had it. It was Dig Spot. What did I miss? Crap. Bonk Rocks? Did I really forget Bonk Rocks? This is gonna hurt. Gonna... Yeah, I'm not winning this race. No chance at this point. Like, when I got those boots, I went and did so much, except for that. Like, I feel like my only hope at this point is that my opponent decided to forfeit because of how bad the rest of the seed was. But I have the conviction not to forfeit. We're gonna finish. Of course, here's what's going to really happen is that the... Why did you even do that? You're not doing the bomb jump. You're doing icebreaker. Like, watch Bombos now be at Turtle Rock. Just as, like, a poetic justice. Thanks for the auto host, Joe. Must have moved to Therese and then back to me. But hey, we got silver arrows out of it. How lucky. Actually, we've got a bigger problem right now. I don't have enough magic to kill Cold Stare. And all I've got are 2 bees in bottles. It's okay. I've got enough magic now. I'm playing like garbage today. This is just bad. Butter sword, okay. Like, I've just last location so much in this race, and this is the kind that demoralizes. Like, these are the ones that really get me bad. Like, I'm kind of glad this is the only race I'm doing today, because, like... doesn't feel as bad knowing I don't have to do so poorly again today. But yeah, I'd rather finish than not. I don't like the idea of forfeiting. So it's still potato aim. Nothing to say but that. Oh, there's a bright side. Please do inform me, Scruff, because right now I'm just not feeling at all bright or chipper about it. Ha, thanks. Because I'm playing this as an old dungeon seed at this point, and that's not a good feeling. Like, that swamp dip was completely unnecessary. Thieves, like, every pendant was that I've done, I think, like, the only one I can justify to myself right now is Eastern. Because, like, I was trying to avoid Aga at the time. Other than that, like, every play has been wrong. Like, I don't think I've been more wrong in a race in a long time. Needed that. I mean, we double dipped pod, we double dipped TR. We're gonna double dip the mire area. Which, whatever on double dipping mire area, like, that's not a big deal. No. This has been the seed from hell. It can rot. And as I've said numerous times, I'm sorry. I don't blame anybody for leaving. I'm not watching this. I said I was gonna not forfeit. I don't know, I have to go to Mire. And then I have to go climb GT, and then I have to go kill Ganon. Like I said, we should get started. Don't worry about me. I'll give you a sneak preview. I'm gonna lose. There's no way I'm winning this race. No. What the thing you missed while you were eating was I misplaced Fire Rod very, 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 very stupidly. Like, there's not enough varies to describe how bad that was. Exactly, Okash. I last location, the last location. Yes, it was a dum-dum. I was a dum-dum. or any other of the descriptors. No. When I realized I needed to check Lumberjack, I didn't check Bonk Rocks. And then proceeded to walk around to 20 other locations without a fire rod that I should have had. That's not an easy mistake to make. Like when I did King's Tomb, I should have checked Bonk Rocks. And it was at the top of my mind when I started running to Bonk Rocks, and then I just didn't go. And then I did 30 other things. And then I realized I forgot Lumberjack, and then I did that and still did 20 other things. Like, the level of moron there is too big at this point. I don't forfeit if I don't have to. I would prefer not to forfeit a race in Ambrosia. The only thing we didn't find was red mail and mirror shield. And maybe a couple of bottles. It would be poetic, wouldn't it, Cash? Bad seed, bad ending. Why not? 19 would put it in probably end of right side. Hey, a bottle of blue goo. 13 is rando room for me. Blue cane was at race game, Ulkesh. We saw blue cane. But at that point, I already had the cape, so I said screw it. Four. Isn't it? Worst part is like the troll wasn't even that bad. We made it bad for ourselves. Like, that's the roughest part for me on that one. Like, there's a better route on this race that's very obvious. Like, the only if I remember, like, boots were purple chest. After boots, you go directly to swamp or directly to Bonk Rocks. You get the fire rod. You clear Skull Woods. You go clear Pod. Then you go do TR. Like, there's a very clear option there. Like, I'm just curious how bad this loss is going to be. Honestly, like, I'm kind of very... I wonder. Stop teleporting. Please, just let me put you out of your misery so I can be out of mine. I have no... There is no reason I should have won that race. What the fuck? I don't deserve that. Like, at all. What the hell? I know. I know, a win is a win. I don't deserve a win. Like, that shouldn't have been. Should not have been. I know. I realize how the system works. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand. I never stopped this timer, and maybe that's a reason I should switch to live split. Is live split can auto end when I get to the Triforce room. I could set it up to just be like auto split when I start, and when I like if you've watched an NMG run, the auto splitter will track, it splits at very specific points. I could set it up to just start when I start and end when I get to the Triforce, and that would be it. Like, there is an option for that for the auto splitter, and maybe that's something I need to do. So, well, at this rate, we've won by a couple of minutes. Still. The vampire skewers. Let's speed this up. Yeah, let's get to the important stuff. The important stuff. When did we find shit? First sorted. Okay, technically I had a sorted 0, but whatever. Pegasus boots at 110, flute at 111, Nier at 45. We killed 4 bosses with fighter? Huh. 4 with tempered, 5 with gold. GT big key was 4, not 3. We just didn't bonk the lamp. For having boots that long, 18 bonks isn't too bad. 2 deaths. I think those were both purposeful. No, one of them wasn't. At least one of them wasn't. 163 out of 216 is actually not the worst it could have been. But think about it. We only pulled 3 items out of GT out of a possible 27, so 24 of them were GT. So... well, that does it. We didn't get to see Red Mail. We're not using Samus again. I don't like her sprite. Simple as that. Not a good sprite. We're not using it next time. Thanks, everybody. In terms of racing, let me just look at the schedule real quick. Do 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 do. 7 p.m. mystery, probably not. 1 a.m. inverted keys, no. 8 a.m. open, no. Cross keys at 2. While I would love to do the 2 o'clock cross keys. Oh, yep. That was the one I forgot. Thanks, Solcash. You're right. I did die in Thieves Town. While I would consider doing that 2 p.m. cross keys tomorrow, I did say I would do Division 2, so probably skipping cross keys tomorrow. There's an 8 p.m. Ambrosia tomorrow night, maybe? And then we'll see about the weekend. If I am streaming later today, there's a chance I'm going to try to join Dopey for his Minecraft Dungeon stream and work with that for a bit. So, check Dopey out later today. But in the meantime, go watch Joe if you're not already. If you are, or just going to stick around here, we will be hosting her soon, I believe. So I'll have to make sure because technically auto host is just so ineffectual sometimes, and I don't know if other people are, if somebody else might get hosted first. So we'll just do this. I don't want to live host. No, we're just going to end the stream and then go. Yep. See everybody later. Bye.